Hi, this is Jennifer with iCadenza, and I'm here with Maia Jasper, who just performed in a recital at LACMA as part of the Sundays Live series. The other players in the recital were from the Capitol Ensemble and also Francois Chouchon, who we interviewed a few days ago. So I'm going to ask Maia a few questions now. So tell us how you got started with playing the violin and your experience.
Okay. Well, when I was 3, my parents put me on the piano, and it was one of those Suzuki classes where the parent sits with you and, kind of makes sure that you're paying attention. And so my dad ended up kind of covering for me because I was just bouncing around on the keys, and he was the one learning hot cross buns and, go tell Aunt Rhody and all those Suzuki songs. So they decided that was, not such a good idea, and they should wait until I was a little older. And then when I was, I think I was 7, they said, so you want to play an instrument? And I said, sure. And they said, what instrument do you want to play? And I said, well, what's your favorite instrument? And he said, the violin. And I said, why? And he said, because it has the most beautiful singing tone, which is true, the best repertoire, which is also true, and the people wrote the most music for it, which is also true. So there were 3 very good points. I didn't know they were true at the time, but I took him at his word, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's a great story. So coincidentally, we and Julie also went to the same high school, and afterwards Maia went to Yale. And so tell us about what you studied there and how your academic experience enriched your musical performances now.
That's a very good question. Well, first of all, Yale was fantastic. I really am one of these people who believes that the study of music history and composition and theory really informs performance. And a lot of people would disagree. It's kind of the equivalent of, does an Oscar-winning actor necessarily have to have studied Shakespeare or know the history of the Greek theater? But I really believe that if you understand the tension and harmonies, that all comes from music theory. I think a lot of people can intuit that reasonably well, but for me personally, to have a real foundation of knowledge makes a big difference. So I definitely think it was worth it, not to mention just the life experience that you accumulate. For me, it was really good. Also, just to feel that my decision to become a musician was informed. It wasn't because I hadn't kind of explored other things. So that was very important for me. I think I told you before we started doing this that I had like a crisis of confidence in high school, just, oh my God, do I really want to be a musician? So I just needed a little extra time to figure that out. So Yale was great for that. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
And after that, you studied music in Paris at the conservatory. So what was that like?
Completely different, but it definitely showed me that that's what I wanted to do after college. So being a foreigner and studying music in Europe, which is of course where all the repertoire comes from, that was pretty invaluable. Just the kind of playing over there is a little different. I think over here when we're trained a little bit more for perfection of tone and maybe to win a job, and everything has to be very clean, and over there, to me, the focus seemed a little bit more on the style, and that was really interesting. So, yeah.
And how is it to be back in LA and working as a professional musician here? How do you find the musical scene?
I love it. I think that it's kind of a best kept secret. Maybe I shouldn't even be saying this, but on the East Coast, everything is so established. And having gone to school on the East Coast, I knew a lot of great players from the Yale School of Music who basically were kind of stuck in New Haven after graduating, and it was kind of like until the day came when they were able to win a job, they were just kind of in this musical no man's land or traveling to orchestras. Like I was in the New Haven Symphony my senior year, so there were people coming from Hartford, New York, Boston, I think even Philadelphia, like just to play in the New Haven Symphony, which was literally 5 steps away from my dorm, you know what I mean? So that was kind of a shock to see how all of these great players just had to be so spread out in order to get work. And over here, there's just so much going on. There's a lot of great orchestras. There's constantly openings to audition for. There's a lot of kind of openness. Francois talked a bit about that in your interview, and I think that's something that's perceived as the Wild West by people on the East Coast, and so much the better for me. Like, if there's more available for us here. People are very receptive to contemporary music here. It just seems like there's a lot of opportunity to just kind of create your own thing. not to mention that over here there's the studio work, and that's something that's very hard to come by. I'm definitely like under the barrel, not even the bottom of the barrel. But that's something I didn't even think about when I was growing up here. So yeah, it's definitely fun to come back and play. I haven't played on this stage since high school. So that was really fun. It's really great. I love it here.
So what's next for you? Any upcoming performances?
Yeah, I've got a contemporary music ensemble that's playing in Orange County and Santa Monica, and I think we have 4 concerts between September and October and more to come. So yeah, that's chamber music-wise, which is definitely my favorite, but I'm a member of the Pacific Symphony, which is down in Orange County, and we have, I think, 15 classical series with 3 concerts each, so that keeps me pretty busy, but it also leaves enough time to fill in with other things as you see fit, you know, teaching, subbing, you know, like in the Philharmonic or what have you. So, yeah.
Great. Well, we look forward to seeing you perform again. It was so great speaking with you.
Yeah, it was great to meet you guys. Thanks for doing this, too.